Yes, people. Welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Should be a very good one today. The Premier League certainly brought up a lot of drama over the weekend. So let's get straight into it. What are you telling me to do?
Yeah, man, not bad. Let me just take a sip of my tea for a second. Hold on. Cool. That was nice. Yeah, man, feeling good, feeling blessed. Had a good weekend. You know, can't complain. Hope you boys are sweet, man.
Yeah. Obviously, the cup was a message. Obviously, we know what happened yesterday. What are you telling me, Rash?
Yes. How you doing, man? Man's doing good. Feeling good. Alhamdulillah. Good weekend of football. Good predictions this week as well. From the lads. You know what I mean? A couple of the guys, me, got a lot of the predictions right. So, but yeah, man, it was a good weekend of football. Got lots to discuss.
Yeah,
I would like to apologise. I would like to apologise to two guys on this panel today, Jeff and Rash. They were doing a prediction show, yeah, and I jumped in and they gave me their Liverpool predictions. When I tell you, me and the boys went nuts when we heard them say draws. I was like,
I saw that.
What? Brentford, you right? Well, apologies, lads. Yeah, I should. You don't question my predictions. That's what you think. That's what you think. Yeah, I'm sorry for jumping off the show like that. I love you for that.
Yeah, you and Mike went mad still. I see Mike.
Mike jumped on the show. You know, Mike don't like his face out there.
Mike don't even like his face out there. My man said FC. I didn't even think it was that mad, but obviously Jeff and Rash got proved right anyway. So we'll talk about that.
What did they say? Wait.
1-1-2.
2-2.
1-1.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, Jeff, what are you telling me?
Yeah, man, all good. It's a decent weekend of football. So yeah, man, let's recap, innit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think probably overall it might have been the best weekend so far in terms of the whole drama that we had. Obviously, started early from Saturday in the first game with United, which we'll touch on. That was banter. But let's start with the last game. Yesterday afternoon, North London derby. Now it's funny because in going into the game, Spurs were actually ahead of Arsenal, but they were coming off the back of 2 3-0 losses. Arsenal were coming off the back of 2 1-0 victories, and the game was over at half time. Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang, Saka all getting on the score sheet. Aubameyang's goal was definitely the best one, easily. That was a beautiful goal. Second half, Spurs got a consolation from Son. Which I don't know what you guys think, whether Ramsdale could have done better with that one. He got a strong hand on it, couldn't quite tip it around, but then he made up for it in the 90th minute with somehow overstretching his body and saving Lucas Moura's shot onto the crossbar. That was a mad save. And it's actually, he's one guy I have to big up before we even start. He's playing out of his skin, and he deserves a lot of respect because he got a lot of criticism, but he deserves a lot of respect because he's playing well and he's definitely made a difference. But do you know, man? You predicted the Arsenal victory. Everyone here predicted the Arsenal victory except me. I predicted the Spurs victory. I got every prediction wrong this weekend. So yeah, hey, it is, but it's calm, isn't it? It's calm, man. It's calm. What are you saying, Jino, man? Talk to me.
Before I start, let me just take a sip from first day.
How many sips you gonna take?
Until my cup of tea is done.
Until the thirst is quenched. You feel me?
Okay, all right, cool. You're allowed. Cool.
So it's mad because before the international break, Spurs won the league, innit? Spurs won the league. You know, 3 games, 3 wins. They won the league. Like they were all chanting, who won the league? Yeah, they were on top, right on top. We was right on the bottom, same relegation for that. Yeah,
we were bottom. Yeah.
Spurs will be Spurs. That's the thing. We played the same amount of games. We won the same amount of games. We lost the same amount of games. How are we on top? Actually, I think we're split on the same points,
goal
right?
Difference. Yeah, goal difference. We're ahead of goal difference.
Points, lost, wins. Come on, man. This is why we can't get onto players too early. You can't get onto teams too early. You know, we just got to let the season go to get what I'm saying. But yeah, it was good, man. It was good. I was chilling, watching the game, excited, was not nervous at all. There was no threat because you see Harry Kane. his head's not in the game. He pretty much was a pre-assister to the pre-assister, if you know what I'm saying. Losing the ball there and running back and then assisting Saka. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to help him out, saying, yeah, son, I know you missed a pen at the England game. Here, this is for you, son. Do you know what I mean? You probably hit your head back in the game. Do you know what I mean? But it's mad, man.
He was involved twice in that goal.
He was involved twice, bro.
He gave it to us.
He was part of the build-up.
Yo, complete midfielder, bro. Complete midfielder, bro. Hey.
Some half tackle, side tackles. That was half-hearted, man. But yeah, he's mad not there no more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can say the same thing for Dele Alli. I think he's hit his ceiling. He's on the ball. Like there was 2 years ago he was doing bits in that midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he was doing the most. But there's one thing, man. I'll say, man, Son, like, even if it was to score a tap-in or something really light, I know you're saying Ramsdale could have done a bit better. Son's just that guy for me. You know, I can't really... Like, I knew if there was going to be a goal, it would come from him, no one else. Like, even if we were making mistakes on our part, I knew Son, he's just active. Throughout the whole game, you can tell that he was trying. Kane was doing everything half-hearted. I don't know why they were celebrating. I remember watching the build-up and they were bigging up Moura, saying, oh, Moura's back now. Who had him? Tierney's going to have to work harder or something like that. Tierney done the business, boys, yeah? Tierney done the business. Go on, let's talk about something positive now. Tierney, bro, you got to give credit where it's due. Everything I wanted for him yesterday. I mean, the first 5 minutes, he done a cross into the box and I was like, effing and blind, you know what I'm like? And then after I'm seeing him defending, I'm seeing him running back. You know, I know Gabriel's got it on the back himself, but he was doing all the business, you know what I mean? I think it helped. I hate to say it, but I think it helped that Xhaka was back because Xhaka kept filling in when he went forward. You know, Xhaka goes into that left back position, fills in that spot, and it's worked. It worked. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the defense done well. Ben White, I told you he'll do okay. I know he'll come back good. We still got some more to see from him. And I always say, you know, I'll rate you when you come up against people like Son. You know, people like, you know, the big dogs, you know what I mean? Like your Ronaldo's and that. That's Lukaku's. That's when I can rate you, innit? And I'm giving them the ratings, man. Midfield done the business. It's good to see Partey splitting the ball and doing the business, man. He needs to stop shooting, though. I think he needs to relax with that, man. I don't know how you...
Target, though, man. Go on target, man.
Go on target first half.
That was good.
So out of the 4, you're counting the 1 on target. Nah, man. You got 3 wrong. I'm not having it. Yeah, but you can split. You can do the 30-yard passes, get it straight to Tierney's feet, get it straight to my man's feet, but then you're taking a shot as guy to Rose. What's going on? Do you get what I'm saying? It don't make sense. But he'll work on it, man. He's still a quality player. I like him. Attackers. We can finally rate the attackers, boys. We can finally rate them good. Do you know what I mean? It feels good to actually rate them. So, yeah, man, I'm not going to say too much, man, because I'm going to get too gassed, man. I'd rather wait for player ratings to get into it, man. But I'm happy. I just whoever's next, let me just take a sip of my cup of tea quickly. Let's get it.
Yeah. Now, I think you made a good point there. I thought Tierney played well yesterday in terms of much more focus on the passing element rather than just crossing. I thought even Xhaka first half, I thought he contributed well to the game. I even saw him doing right-footed passes, which didn't know what was going on there. And Partey ran the game from start to finish. I thought it was too easy for him at times. But I think also Aubameyang, he has to get credit. I'm one of his biggest critics, but he was actually holding the ball up yesterday. He was actually holding the ball up. No complaints about him at all. Great finish. Smith-Rowe on the left. You know what I'm saying? Like the touch for the second goal where he set up Aubameyang very underrated. The first one he took on the run. And then obviously Saka getting a goal big for him too. So Rash, like what stood out for you most yesterday? Because some people are saying this could be a turning point for Arteta. What do you feel stood out the most? And Tomiyasu as well. We didn't even mention him. He was quality.
Yeah.
Man of the match.
I mean, look, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to like break the team into the 3 sections of what they are: the defense, the midfield, and the forwards. In the defense, let's just say let's start with Ramsdale, who has had a great start for Arsenal. Again, he's quick off the line. He's good with his feet. Again, he showed us that. He's a good shot stopper as well. When it's time to be called to action, he was there. Now, in regards to the goal, it looked like he did have a strong hand to it, but the shot was just too hard. That's what it just seemed like to me. It was just too powerful for him. If he had two hands to it, maybe he would have been strong enough. But if he had two hands there, maybe he wouldn't have even reached it in the first place. So it's one of those things, isn't it? So the back line, they're playing well. Gabriel and Ben White, they seem to be working well together. They seem to be able to read the game together quite well, be able to cut off any of the attacks that was coming through Tottenham, because Tottenham didn't really do nothing first half at all. Tomiyasu, great game. He's doing himself some favors at the moment because he's hit the ground running. He's out for the challenge all the time, showing bags of energy. He's good in the air. He's good with his feet. He's quick. He's good on the attack. He's good at the defending. Who would have thought? I didn't. You know. So he's a great start. Tierney, as Jalil was saying, he had a good game too. So the defense, Arteta has finally got to work as in unison. They seem to be understanding what each other's capabilities are and what they demand from each other in order to defend. Do you know what I mean? Because defending individually for those guys, it's a shambles. But they seem to have been able to find something that works, that makes them be able to defend as a unit, and at the moment it's keeping us close to clean sheets, nearly 3 games in a row, you know. But unfortunately, you know, Son got that last one in. But then you go to the midfield, and Xhaka played very well. Xhaka had a really good game. I think 2 of the goals started with the same pattern, starting with Xhaka winning the ball, or Xhaka getting the ball, then playing it off to Odegaard playing it forward out wide to Saka playing the ball in. Then one of them was finished by Aubameyang, the other one was finished by Smith-Rowe. So he's involved in the goals now as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Not just in the clean-up, which is good. He showed good composure as well. He wasn't typical Xhaka in the derby. I was expecting him to get a red card. He didn't even get a card. That's weird for me. He didn't get a card, did he?
He didn't. Should have, but he didn't.
Yeah, there was one that I thought he was going to, but he didn't get it, did
he? Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, so... and as you said, Partey, he bossed the midfield. Like, they just controlled the whole midfield. Like, it was easy for them. Odegaard going into the spaces, picking out the balls out wide, finding Saka, finding Smith-Rowe. Like, they look really good on the attack. And Aubameyang finding form again, hitting targets, scoring goals, doing what we want him to be doing. Do you know what I mean? It's a good performance from Arsenal. Like, they put in a lot of effort in the first half. Second half, they kind of sat back. With about 15 minutes to go, Arteta then strategized, you know, to shut up shop, make some changes, bring on Maitland-Niles, who else did he bring on? Congo as well, and Tavares as well, showing that he was looking to try and hold the victory now. Because, I mean, look, as much as we had a conversation, didn't we, about why didn't he really go for broke? Because they had the opportunity. If you got someone on their knees, why don't you just go for the kill, take their heads off? But maybe it's a thing of him knowing his own team. I mean, we see Arsenal in this situation so many times and then lose it. You know, they go for broke and then concede two in quick concession, and then it's tight to hold on for the last 5 minutes. And usually they let it go. It's usually a draw or something like that, or they might lose it if the team pulls level. So I think Arteta actually made the right decision, me personally, to close up shop right there, to cover the backs. Do you know what I mean? And make sure that we definitely get the results that we did. But overall good performance from Arsenal. But Tottenham, quite worrying for Tottenham, because Kane didn't look ready to play the game again. He didn't look up for it. There was nothing coming for him. Dele Alli, like, even the manager knew, you gotta come off at half time.
He's a joke.
Yeah,
he's a joke.
Everyone's clocking on. Pundits are talking about it. His manager knows about it, saying, "Well, you're not that guy." You know what I mean? You have to come, because he wasn't doing. He's the invisible man at the moment, not contributing anything. Spurs just was not good. Second half, They came into it towards the last 25 minutes. You know what I mean? They had the better share of possession and chances, but overall, Arsenal never looked like they was in a worrying position. Good win.
Yeah, I think Arsenal never really looked worried at all. I think it was very, very comfortable. I think obviously we had that discussion after the game. I definitely think the game was there to embarrass Spurs. Obviously, we embarrassed them first off, but I feel like the embarrassment could have continued. But I get where Arteta's coming from. And thinking more about it, I was thinking about all the managers. And I'm thinking Pep would have gone for 5-6, but would Tuchel have gone for it? Probably not. Tuchel's more of that conservative type. Let's just keep the ball. So it might be that Arteta's that type of once the game's killed, let's just conserve and keep the ball. So maybe that's the only thing we could have done better. But regardless of that, we got also got a 3-1 victory. But one of the guys you mentioned is Odegaard, which we didn't highlight at the beginning, and I thought he was almost bordering on man of the match first half because he was just dictating the whole game. And someone said today that aren't Arsenal fans crazy that a lot of them would have rather had Maddison for 70 million than Odegaard for 30 million. Like, is that looking foolish now, Jeff? Or, like, what are you thinking about Odegaard? I thought that was almost his best game for Arsenal yesterday.
Yeah, he was outstanding, I think. It's not even on the ball. Like, it's just the pressing. Like, he dictates the pressing. So that's the good thing. Guess the Maddison thing, Maddison's going through a bit of a dry patch. I thought Maddison might have been better just because he had free kicks, but I was never against Odegaard signing. I liked him last season. He's just good on the ball. He's intelligent, man. He makes the right passes. He's £40 million cheaper too. He played with the team last season. And his pressing that's top. That's probably one of his best, most underrated things for me. It's the way he never really stops.
He doesn't stop.
You don't stop. So, yeah, man, like for a large part of that game, I thought he was unplayable, man. And like his choice of passes is, for a young player, is probably one of his best attributes too, because it's never a forced through ball. Some attacking mids do that, where you get success some of the time when you do that. But when
Bruno.
you pick, he does that a lot. That where you might not need to do that, but you have so much success doing it that you're going to keep trying it and you're going to get success because you're class at that. But Odegaard's thing is more measured. I like it. It's nice little passes into midfield, into the strikers, into the wide players. It's good, man. So
it's almost like Cesc Fabregas, how he used to when he used to play his balls through. He wasn't overdone. It was into the path where it should go. You know what I mean? And where you expect it to go, directly to its target. I hear you, Jeff.
Yeah, so let's hope we can keep it going, innit? Like a lot of those players, like Tomiyasu, you've been impressed with him since the start. He's been great. The only reason the ball even they even scored was through like a weird ricochet. Like other than that, Son can go either way. Like we know Son is dangerous. Like he didn't really even have a look down the line or come in field against Tomiyasu. You just gave the ball. So that's a good sign, just to know that a winger who's lit up the Prem for the past 3-4 years didn't want to go against him.
And he was 1-on-1 with him a few times.
Yeah, and
he was
just Tomiyasu's body language is like, all right, try me, please. Let's have a go. And I like that. I like that. I like seeing the stuff like that.
You know what someone said about Tomiyasu today? They said obviously it's very early doors, but they said there's small reminders with Azpilicueta. When he came into the Prem, Azpilicueta was a very defensive fullback in terms of 1-on-1. Azpilicueta is one of the best the Prem's seen, and then over time he slowly got better at the forward. But his main thing was defensively. And there's some similarities there with Tomiyasu because the reason Son wasn't taking him on is because Tomiyasu's positioning was so good that's like, I don't know if there's space either way.
It's like he's not a real right. It's like he's not a real right back.
It kind of goes to what they were saying before when they were laughing at the signing. Like they were saying he's not a right back, he's not a right wing back, he's not a centre back. Like what is he? And then him playing right back there, it kind of helps because there's even a time I think might have been Reggae on someone. Like
Yeah,
he thought he might have the legs and could push it, but he'd already read it.
Yeah.
And he just dived.
He had his number all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He tried to say hit him in the face.
That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
But yeah, man. I actually had so I know it's hella early. I'm not even gonna do that. But if these signings look good this season, do we give Edu some leeway, or do you still want him gone? Because we're quick to kill him when it ain't going right. So if it goes well this season, does the stance change, or what is it?
It's a fair question. At the moment, what's it called? Gabriel, we know, was a good player. Tomiyasu's looking decent. Ramsdale's surprising everybody. I think the only one now we really question is probably still Ben White.
And that's only looking good next to Gabriel.
I'm not questioning Ben White, to be fair.
Yeah, no, but Ben White is only because of the 50 mil. That's the only thing I'm saying. 50 mil. That's the only reason. Outside of that, signings are not looking bad at the moment.
Still hella early. I ain't doing all of that like walk back in it takes. I'm saying end of the season or start of next season, even if it's still looking like these players are buying into Arteta's like philosophy and whatnot, and they look good. If we all walk back our takes, or are we just gonna?
Go on. Mine's very short and sweet. We've seen now what they've been planning to do, right? And they've both come out on Sky Sports and in various interviews and said, "This is what we're doing, we're planning." And they said, "Okay, we'll be very strict. We bought 6 players, all at the age of 23 and younger, because we're trying to do something for the next couple of years." Yeah. The only way, I mean, I'll give them their credit. That's what I've always been saying. I've been saying that about a year ago when I first came onto this platform. Give them 3 years, and then it got blown up. Remember that? But I said the only reason why it went bad for me when I said that is because there was not one signing there that was young. That's for the future. He was buying Willian. He was buying, obviously Aubameyang still there. Aubameyang for me is to stay at the club. There's something about him that he has. Obviously a few other players, but there was no one young. So then when I was saying that, it was just there was no what's the word? There was no strength to it. They just said, "Oh, he's just chatting because he's trying to defend them." I think now if things go south, we got to look at the players and not the guys, because we've seen now we've come against. Let's not. I know people say Spurs are shit. I always say Spurs are shit, but Spurs are quite a decent team, especially when they're attacking. Look at Son and that. Do you get what I'm saying? And I knew they would still score. But having said that, I've never really got onto Edu. For me, it's always been the board. But now that I've seen the board just give him the money to spend, and Arteta's things coming into fruition, then I'm like, and I'm seeing the guys. I'm saying, okay, there's 6 players here. They're still gonna buy some more, maybe on Christmas, maybe at the end of the season. I'm like, I'm chilled, man. I'm cool, man. I don't want to win nothing this season, so I'm not getting onto Edu or none of the guys, man.
We're going for a League Cup, it looks like. But yeah.
I'll take it.
Something, I guess.
A League Cup is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Off Solskjaer if you'll take it.
Solskjaer's going. He's going soon.
Yeah, I guess done. We'll get onto that fraud in a sec, but that guy's killing my guy on the CR7. But I was gonna ask, when you look at Arsenal's team now that everyone's fit, first 11, is there actually, and you see how some teams like Leicester and obviously Spurs have started, is top 6 really unachievable?
It's not. Go on, Rash. I've spoke already. Go on.
No, it's not unachievable. It's not unachievable because we're only like a couple games into the season. Do you know what I mean? And everyone is there and about the same points right about now. So it's kind of what happens next now with the next run of games to see, okay, who's really going to be in the running at the halfway point. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that it's at the halfway point where you usually know who it's going to be between and who possibly can sneak in there. And then I just think we'll just know around that time. But right now we're still at the beginning stages and everyone just needs to just kind of watch the play. But in regards to what Jeff was saying, would we kind of like take back what we said? And, you know, if it turns out to be successful, the plan that they are doing, and this is all part of the plan, and it's, you know, it's not something that's just accidental and it's actually part of the planning, and it becomes a success at the end of the season, like, alhamdulillah, like, I'm Muslim. I'll eat my words all the time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I admit it. Do you know what I mean? And but I want to be wrong. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I want Arteta to be good because at the same time, I'm rooting for him. I want him to be a good manager because I can see he's got potential and I can see the ideas that he comes. Just thought the job right now is too big for him, but maybe he's finding his feet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There comes a point sometimes where you just fit in. You understand? It just all connects. It just all works. The dots just gets all connected and everything just works out the way you want it to. And maybe we've actually hit that place, or maybe we're just kind of judging it too quickly. We don't know. We just got to see how it plays out. But it was a good performance at the weekend, and it was nice to have that. It was nice to have that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously we can go into the player ratings now. So one of the signings obviously is Ramsdale. So Jeff, what would you give Ramsdale?
Maybe an 8. I think I'll go with an 8. He made some big saves at times, especially the one at the end. Kind of confused at how he got to that. And just outside of that, it's just more the vocal aspect for me. It's like keepers get like hailed for like saves and that, but that's not all that goes into being a goalkeeper. It's like the talking, that's the major point. Especially for a back line like ours, like where it's been in like disarray for a while. Like a goalie that talks, like don't get me wrong, I like Leno. I'm not one of them guys that doesn't like Leno, but what you can see already is that Ramsdale is a commanding presence. Like he speaks a lot. And even after he made that save, like the ball went out and he gone to the centre backs, he gone to the midfields and said, listen, don't let that can happen again. Like that shouldn't have happened. So that's a good thing. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought it was a good display, man.
Yeah, he straight parred Gabriel's high five to go and admonish the midfielders.
He said we ain't doing that.
Yeah, he parred that one straight.
Don't celebrate my save when you could have got to the ball, bro.
Yeah. Nah, big up to Ramsdale. I didn't realize how good he is so far. Catching balls in the air, like he's pretty on it. I gotta say, it surprised me.
It's like Sheffield United last year. He was. I know they're Sheffield United, so people are laughing because of Sheffield United, but he was really making a lot of saves. Like kind of reminded me of like Pickford when he was at Sunderland. I don't like Pickford, so maybe a bad example, but because it's like a really bad team and you're getting peppered. This guy stands out, man, because he's making some good saves. So yeah, it's good.
Pickford's pissed because I think we found our number one England goalkeeper.
Oh, don't too early. There you go. Too early, bro. Too early. Sip on some of that tea, bro. You might have that tea in it.
It's a nice fade still. It's a nice fade.
My brother Rash in the
building. All right, hey, Jalil, Tommy Yasu, give me a rating, bro.
For me, this might be a bit over exaggerating, but he was my man of the match. For me personally, from what I see, I know. I think Jeff said it the best. This guy was just like reading every single thing that come to him, and for me to see that as someone who likes to watch defenders and that, but he's gonna have to hold an 8 as well. But for me, I don't know if anyone deserves a 9. But
I got
Jeff has someone in mind that deserves a 9, but I'm gonna give him an 8.
Okay, A. I think A is fair for he was brilliant. I don't throw that word loosely, but he was brilliant. He has been. So fair play to him, man. Big up Bellerin as well and Real Betis. Rash.
Shout out them man there.
Them man there. Over there.
All right, Rash. Ben White.
I think he had a good steady game. Didn't really put a foot wrong. Read the game quite well. Played some good balls forward as well. I like that he doesn't play the obvious ball all the time as well. He sees he's got a good long vision. You know what I mean? He sees runs, and it's the type of thing that we used to say. Arsenal have cowards in the team because no one's brave enough to play those balls forward when they see it. They go to do it. Well, in reality, Xhaka goes to do it in turns and does something else. But he's not afraid to do it, and he's good at it as well. So I think he had a good game. I'll give him actually an 8.
Yeah, I think it's fair. He's bounced back well since the first game, and someone said it yesterday. Gary Neville was very quick. Not just Gary Neville, but everyone was very quick to kill him after the first game. But he probably hasn't had the praise he deserves for actually bouncing back, because that's part of the game. So
I know we'll get to it, but we see that Tony can do that to anyone. Like it was worse because that was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
But if you watch that Brentford game, Van Dijk and Matip had a tough 90
Listen, and that's what it was. No one knew about it yet. No one knew about them yet. You know what I mean? So when they hit Arsenal like that, I was like, But now everyone knows about them.
The maddest thing about Brentford, it's not even just Tony. His little partner up top, that guy is dangerous.
Yeah.
He needs to improve his finishing, but as a threat, he is a threat, man.
They're not for play, man. You ain't gonna go there and push them over.
Nah, man. But yeah, Jeff, Gabriel.
Yeah, slightly is probably up there for me as well in terms of like man of the match candidates. Man, I had 1-9 already. I don't know if he should get it too, but
do it.
It's close.
Man,
do it,
can you do halves?
Bro, I would do it.
I'll allow you halves today. Bro.
Him and Partey have been the difference, man. Love it.
like Gabriel. Like my concern was last year. You saw he was good, but just seemed a little bit rash. But you knew it'd need about a year to like get used to the league.
Southampton game. Yeah. Walk on, yeah.
Yeah, you know he's strong, like, but it's like, bro, don't overdo it, man. But yesterday he was good on the ball too, like, really good on the ball, and that's something I don't really see from him often. But he was making the right decisions. He was great at the back. He was a leader. Yeah, he was chasing balls. He didn't even need to chase. Like, he was going to left back. Tierney would cover. He just wanted to clear it. It was nice to see, man. That partnership, I think, could be good down the line. But yeah, I think he was probably the standout. Ben White had one, I think, a little bit of a hazy moment against Harry Kane. But overall, like, on the ball and stuff, he was great as well. But I thought Gabriel was the standout in this particular game, 8.5.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Both tackling in possession, superb game. Jalil Tierney, your guy.
I mean, I can't say anything negative about him other than one little cross into the box what I wish he didn't do. Nothing, because he was defending well, he was going forward well, he was linking up well, he was talking well. What did he do wrong? Let my little Scottish man hold at 8 as well, man. I'm happy. I'm happy with him. And there was one shaky thing when he cleared the ball. He was in a corner and he didn't get up, and I was like, please, man, prove me wrong, please. That's all I was thinking. I would love nothing more to prove me wrong. He got up here, ran back. They were coming on attack and won the ball. I'm not saying a tear dropped in my eye, but I was in the hotel and it was a bit dusty.
Don't lie, you cried.
Big up Tierney, man. All the love, man. You got to give it to them when they do well, man. 100.
Yeah. Big up Tierney. Yeah, I think he played very well. Xhaka or Rash?
Xhaka. Okay, so I think he played very well. I can't really fault him. I was worried once. But other than that, I think 8. He had a good game. 8.
Yeah. He had a very good game. Played first half as well. Probably one of the best I've seen him play. But apparently that knee injury is not looking good, even though we have no idea what it is. It's actually the first time I've seen Xhaka really get an injury like that for Arsenal. He's usually pretty Iron Man. That's one of his strengths. So
it was quite soft. It looked soft. It was weird. It was a weird one. Though, man. Yeah, and that's
when you play and you don't expect it, it's way worse.
Yeah,
like, it really hurts.
I'm not gonna lie. There was one time like I hit a part of my knee. Like there's a certain part of my knee that when it gets hit, it's man down. I'm
Mhm.
dead. Like I'm talking about dead. Like feel like I'm gonna throw up, sweating and everything like that. Like, and it's only a little knock it takes. It's a certain part of the knee, so it could be that one, man. It could be that. So
It could
I'll
be,
say,
man, but hopefully not. Hopefully not for him, and it'll be a shame.
I'll say this as well. When you obviously when you're away from the team for a bit, obviously you're still training and that. But when you get suspended, you're for 3 games. You don't well, if you're a top player, let's say Ronaldo or someone like that, Aubameyang, you come straight back into the game because you're needed. Xhaka, let's be real. We have to sit here and be real. He didn't really need to come back to that spot because our new signing was doing well. We can argue Niles was doing well as well, but I can see why Rash gave him 8. I would have given him 8 as well because you come back into a tough game. You don't come back into a derby where all the pressure's on you, all the laps on you. You know the public's going to talk about you after and all that jazz. Like you've got to play a good game here to win, and because he was part of that, and he didn't really put a foot wrong, other than he should have got a yellow or something. Man, you got to give him an 8. So I hear what Rash is saying, 100.
Yeah, like all you want to do is from Xhaka is see that he's got a level head, that he can keep his cool, because that's the only thing that lets him down. And he made the right decisions in that game against Tottenham. Trying to say I can't really say he put a foot wrong. Played well.
No, he didn't. Jeff Partey, who I think might be who you have your 9 reserved for.
Yeah, especially because he's been out for a while again. Like he's had a stop-start career at Arsenal so far. He played in midweek, which I thought was the dumbest shit ever. I was like, why is this guy playing for 60 minutes? But I guess he knows himself. He dictated the game, man. Like, you're breaking up play, you're starting attacks. He was literally unplayable. Like that's the party that we probably saw at Atletico a lot of the time. And the party we signed. Like he's showing glimpses of it a lot at Arsenal, but hopefully this is the start to like a consistent year of football, and can really get some minutes under his belt. But he was outstanding, man.
Yeah. 9 for Jeff. The party very fair. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday. Start to finish. Jalil, let me give you your boy Saka. What are you telling me?
I was hoping you'd give this one to me. I mean, he's done the business, ain't he? He's done what I wanted. What can I say, man? You got to get stuck in. You got to make the right decision. You got to not lose the ball. Hardly lost it in the final third, if I'm not mistaken. I think. It wasn't even that. It was Smith-Rowe that lost the ball the majority of the times. In terms of trying to play it through and stuff. But even Smith-Rowe had a good game, so I'm not going to speak about him. I think I'll leave that. No, like Lukaku wasn't wanting to. I mean, it wasn't just running and then getting tackled like he was. He was passing and moving, passing. Can't touch him. Can't touch him. But I'm not going to over boost his head because I know people get on to me because obviously I love the kid. No homo, pause. But yeah, man, he done the job. He got to go and. I'll say this as well. There's one thing I hate, and John, we were speaking about this before when we play. Yeah, there's people that will lose the ball and throw their hands up. We'll be like, okay, cool. Saka will come in. I'm not going to do nothing about it now. He got tackled, lost the ball, still got the ball, just looking for it. You saw he said spinning like, nah, I'm in front of God. I'm not losing this, and still tapped it in with his weaker foot. How could I not give him an 8 in a derby, man? I'm giving him an 8, man. Give him an 8.
Big up Saka, goal and assist, and just generally his performance. I thought it was excellent. Gave Reguilon plenty of problems. Reguilon couldn't tackle him.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he was worthy of even a 9. To be honest, he gets a goal, he gets the assist, and he was a menace all game for Reguilon anyway. Like he was a problem.
So I'll give you Smith-Rowe, and then I'll give you Jeff Odegaard. Who did you think was better? Obviously, I'll let you give the Smith-Rowe ring, but who did you think was better between Saka and Smith-Rowe yesterday? I thought Smith-Rowe was quality as well.
It was a hard to judge between them both because they both had outstanding games for me going forward. But Smith-Rowe to me edges it. He showed just a little bit more grit. He was going in for the challenges, like he was part of the build-up plays. He got the assists, he got the goals as well. I didn't think he was gonna have much of a game against Tanganga. but he gave him a battle. Like, I did like it was brilliant. Like I was just like we've been talking about how Tanganga's been playing on the last few weeks and how he's been strong and he's a problem for anyone who's up against him and so on. But Smith-Rowe was more than up for the fight, and he came out on top all the time. And I just think he was like another candidate for man of the match as well for me. I think it's one of his best games that he's played as well for a long time anyway. I was so happy for him that he scored because he's had a little bit of a drought. So yeah, it was good to see him on the score sheet. But yeah, man. For me, Smith-Rowe, he earned himself a 9.
Okay, from 9 from Rash for Smith-Rowe. I'm not mad at that. I thought he was quality yesterday as well. And, it's funny because now the thing that's going around with the Arsenal fans is there always has to be a debate, even around your own players. And the question now is, who's got the highest ceiling, Smith-Rowe or Saka? That's going to be the question that's going to be coming up. I think it's a hard one to judge personally because they're very different players. I think Smith-Rowe's a better player overall. I think it's hard to know who's going to have the highest ceiling. I think we might know in a year's time. I think it's too soon now because neither one's really got a set position. Yeah, Smith-Rowe's kind of like cam left wing, Saka's like right wing, left wing. I don't know yet. I don't really want to pick between the two of them yet.
I think. Sorry, Jeff.
No, I was just saying I don't even want to put them against each other. But.
Yeah.
I think Smith-Rowe was more attacking than Saka. I'll say that. The way he ran into the ball and Saka put the ball into him, it's like they do that in training. Well, they should be doing that in training because that was perfect, pitch perfect. The way he come in like that, just running in and tap it into the corner. You see Luis just go like that. Where was you guys? How could you not see him running in? You know what I'm saying?
That was mad. Yeah,
but, it was the way he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't in the box at first. It was just like Odegaard, Aubameyang was there.
It was only Odegaard and Aubameyang. That was it.
Yeah, that was the last. It was like the last guy to come in the box was him.
They were just standing there, like waiting, like pass it in. You just see Smith-Rowe coming in. That's the attacking man for him. However, I'll say this: I think with Saka, I think he's more of a all-round game player. If that makes sense. Like he could do a bit of everything. If you want to compare the two, it's going to be very difficult because you've got one who can do the business pretty much in a lot of different positions, but you've got one who's just attacking. And to be fair, on the eye, everyone prefers the attacking player. So Smith-Rowe's going to be that guy who just goes and takes on plays and actually might beat the majority of players that's in front of him. Like Tanganga, whatever his name is, he should have beat him so much yesterday. He should have got the best of him because he's been having a good season as a right back. You know what I'm saying? It should have been done, but everybody was impressed. All the haters, everyone who's been saying, "Oh, he should have got the number 9." He hasn't scored since. Number 10. He shouldn't have scored since. He hasn't scored or got an assist since. Blah blah blah. All these people are now saying that give people time, and you don't just go at people like this. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, with that conversation, people having that conversation, it's going to be very difficult because for me, someone who does more on the pitch, who creates, who can go and get the ball and drive with it, than someone who's just pure attacking. And I know that more attacking players are more easier on the eye than someone who can do the business at the back. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, Jeff, Odegaard, and then I'll finish with Aubameyang.
Yeah, so Odegaard, man, I think first half he was probably a 9.5. He was ridiculous first half for me. Second half, I guess that like attacking impetus kind of changed. We weren't really going for an attack like that. We were just trying to keep the ball, make Spurs tired, and weather the storm, I guess, because we knew it would be coming. So he didn't really get a chance to show his attacking talents. But overall, probably 8.5. He was great, man. No, it's a long season, 6 games in. Listen, not everyone's gonna Arsenal fans. Not everyone's gonna play like that every single game. I know this is a good base, but it's a long season. So, we should expect these performances every week, but we're not gonna get them every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, Odegaard was there. He was great against Burnley. He was great again yesterday. Yes, like I mentioned, just choice of pass, great. No people are gonna say goal. There was no goal and assist. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't care.
Thank you.
I just don't
Thank you.
It's not all about goals and assists.
Thank you.
If you can see that someone changes your team, who cares? I know we might like hail certain players up because that's what they do. Like Bruno is a prime example. He's an assist and goals man, and he deserves his credit for it because that's what he goes. That's what he sets out to do. He shouldn't be knocked. Yeah, that he shouldn't be knocked for it. But you can't knock someone if they don't create a goal or an assist or whatever they say goal involvements. No, like it's just you can't do it. Like Modric is one of the best centre mids ever. He doesn't create much. He doesn't score much. Like I know it's a bit different. Odegaard's an attacking mid, but he was dictating play, so it was top.
You're Rash, you're mute.
You're mute, bro.
Yeah, can I just say something there, Jeff? Though, Odegaard was involved in the goals, though.
That's what I'm saying.
You understand? Yeah. To me, and that's the thing. I appreciate the entire build-up. Do you know what I'm saying? And I love it when the replay shows it from the beginning too, because it lets you know, okay, without this player here, this pivotal moment here, the goal wouldn't have even started. Exactly. And a lot of the time, the second or the third man to touch the ball within the attacks was Odegaard. You know what I mean? He was the one bringing it forward and finding the man out wide. When he needed to go out wide, he was the guy finding that guy who into the space or even playing it through. Like he had a great game.
Yeah, he was top of the line, man.
Top notch. And now, obviously, that's everything you guys just said is not only right, but it's music to my ears because I'm one of the guys that in all the group chats, I'm fighting all the time because people nowadays only care about goals and assists. They don't care about the whole build-up. So I'm out here fighting for guys saying, so
they're not firing bare shots at you, but like,
nah.
What happened?
Wait, I'm back at you.
We're not throwing shots at Jalil. Don't worry,
I'm not a stats man, am I?
No. I just know that you like to rate players based on what their objective on the pitch to do. Like, for instance, if Saka or Aubameyang or Smith-Rowe don't get an assist or a goal, you'll say, I'm not rating you more than an 8 or 7 because of...
You understand? I'll tell you why. That's a very good point you brought that up. The reason why I don't rate Aubameyang and Saka and any attacker midfielder, if we don't score, then what am I waiting you for? So the numbers have to be involved. The reason why I rate Odegaard for yesterday is exactly what Jeff said. He controlled the game, and you just said it as well. Even though he doesn't get a stat, even though he doesn't get the point for assist or goal, we saw that we scored and he had an input to it. Now, if we didn't score anything and they're not all trying to do what they're doing, I can't rate you because there's no end product. But he could with Odegaard, he controlled the game. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I can't do that. So it's not necessarily a stats thing, but there has to be a point on the board for me to give credit. Okay, this came from him. You know, Odegaard controlled it, get to Saka, passed it into Smith-Rowe, and that's how it's happened. It came from him. He broke the space to make the space. However, there's nothing that's happened that I can't really rate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though. But yeah, let me finish up the player ratings of Aubameyang now. I'll do it because obviously I always kill the guy for his lack of hold-up play, but there's nothing to complain about yesterday. His flick on the corner for Smith-Rowe was unreal. Took me by surprise. But not just that, just his whole play. Like there was one ball Gabriel whipped around and he made a brilliant run round and he tried to whip it in. His whole game was sharp yesterday. And he had the hold-up play as well, and the goal, obviously. He's a great finisher. We know about Aubameyang in the box.
Is great.
Yeah, I must have felt that. I knew he would finish that. He's a great finisher. No matter everything that's happened in the last year, he's still a great finisher. So he probably has to get 8.5 as well because I did think he was brilliant yesterday. So big up Aubameyang. Obviously, I feel sorry for him for those idiots that jumped in his car after the game.
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you mean, bro?
After the game,
jumped on top of his car,
100 to 200 of them, just wouldn't let him drive. He's trying to get past and driving slow. And then obviously trying to take pictures on the window, and one guy jumped in the car and he started beeping and so on, like, get the fuck off the car. Like, he was actually angry. He was enjoying it. Obviously, he was enjoying it. He was there for like 20, 30 minutes, enjoying it. Obviously, he's got everyone. An idiot just jumped in the car, fam. You're not going to pay for that.
I know fans are you love your players, bro. People are still humans. Don't just run up on people and jump.
Nah, you can't do that.
Life don't work like that.
It works like that for a minute. So, but he managed to get through it all right. So big up to him still. So let's see if Arsenal can keep the Brighton away next on Saturday after 5:30. That should be another good game. So because obviously Brighton have a chance to go top tonight in about half hour against Palace. So let's see. That'll be a good game. But yeah, people, 45 minutes in roughly. Make sure to smash the likes. We're going to move on to United now. Obviously losing 1-0 at home to Villa. The game wasn't a bad game, but it picked up in the last 3 minutes. Villa going ahead 1-0 through Courtney Horse. Good header, great header actually. And then just when you think United have finally lost, they get that luck that they always seem to get the penalty. You're thinking bailed out again. You're thinking who's taking it? You see Bruno with the ball. You're like, okay. And I'm saying Ronaldo's kind of accepted this somehow. And then Bruno goes and whacks it over the bar, which was hilarious. I can't lie, that was funny. I laughed when he missed. That was funny still. So yeah, man, do you know, like, questions are now being asked about Solskjaer, the Carling Cup. Lost the first game of the Champions League. In the league, they're not playing well, even though they're picking up points. And also, do you think it was right for Bruno to take the penalty? And yeah, thoughts on United, like.
Very good question. I'll start off with the Bruno one, man. I'll start off the Bruno one first. Is it right? Yes. Let's be real. When it comes to dead balls, I think he's the best on the ball. Free kicks or penalties or anything along them lines, man. Even crossing into the box, I don't even know why he doesn't take as much. I guess that's Luke Shaw seems to be doing a good job at that. Unfortunately, he's gone off injured as well. That's my guy. Free my guy, man. He'll be out soon. Free my guy. He'll be out soon. Get out of the shackles, bro. Anyway, bro. Let's look. It's gonna sound toxic. It's gonna sound real toxic, yeah. But if we lost yesterday, and with the result of Man United losing and missing that penalty, I still would have had a good weekend. It sounds toxic, right? No, bro. Fuck United, yeah. A lot of them bunch of cunts. Fans anyway. I mean,
keep it PC.
I can't keep it PC. They make me sick to my stomach, man. Oh, we got Bruno. Get the fuck out of here, son, bro. I don't want to hear it, bro. United fans make me sick. A lot of them. They know who they are. I hope they replay this, bro. You can clip this. Hope they are.
I might have to clip this still.
Make me sick. But what I will say is, during the game, I know it's bad toxic, isn't it? My bad. I got a bit carried away, boys. I'm not gonna lie, man. Just make my blood boil. Anyway, sorry. During the game, I still expected United to win it though. 1-0 down. They still had a lot of players on the pitch that could have done the business. I'm not one of the United fans who sit back and always blames McTominay or Fred. You've got to look at the people that are meant to be there to score the goals. You can't really blame them for your loss. This is United fans of the team as well. Ole could have done stuff differently. I don't know what the tactics were. Aston Villa don't even look that good to me, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they did, but they didn't really look that good to me personally. But yeah, man, Ronaldo not taking the penalty. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think you need to beat up Bruno for that because Bruno puts it away. It's just one mistake. It doesn't mean he's dead. You can't judge him on just that. Do you know what I mean? I would have liked to see a bit more from them, man. I don't know. I think we should touch on their play ratings later on, but I just wanted to get off my chest, man. I know it's a bit toxic. Sorry, lads, man. It's such a Monday. It's a bit early in the week to be giving it all that. Do you know what I mean? But it had to get thrown in there, man. It had to get thrown in there.
Yeah, man. No, obviously, you hate United still. But yeah, man, probably more the fans of United themselves. But like Rash, man, like United don't have a style of play. I think whenever I watch them, I'm just like, these guys are just individual FC, man. And it's just like, I think they now after seeing Liverpool a bit more, I think United will finish fourth. Like, what are you telling me about United, man?
They didn't really have a good game. I thought Aston Villa actually played quite well. I think they had more dangerous chances. They were quite snappy in that midfield. I think they were like onto every loose ball, managed to play some good balls forwards and then go into the attack, had the back line under threat. Again, Varane didn't look 100 to me. I still don't think he has played fantastic. He's had some good games, but I don't think he's played to the caliber that I rate him at since. And I just don't think they it was weird seeing it because Man United did not look like they was going to win like at any point to me. Even when they did have their chances, it didn't look like it was going in. And Martinez, man, king of shithousery. Like that's what you love to see, man. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you love to see it, especially the fact that he's come from Arsenal and he knows the levels. You know what I mean? But to go to someone and say, "Why are you taking the penalty? It should be my man over here. He's better than you. He should be taking that." Like you all know what that feels like. We've been told something similar like that in our lives before. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It does cost some that it got into his head. Do you know what I mean? And he tried to be too casual, you know, made a rookie mistake. He leant back a little bit, skied it into Rose. Do you know what I mean? But that's what you want to see from your goalkeeper. That's what you want to see from your team in the last minute of the game when they could bring it back and get a point from it. You know, he does the job, and I think that was a really good performance from Aston Villa. Actually, I think it was very controlled, and at the same time, I think it was it was done on purpose. I think they meant to play like that. You understand? I think that was part of their strategy, and I think they executed it fantastically. I think United just didn't really look like they were going to get any points at all for that whole game.
Nah, not at all. One guy that needs to be big up for Villa is McGinn. He's actually quality, man. McGinn guy in midfield, he's class still. I can't lie. But yeah, Jeff, man, like United obviously looking like trash. Greenwood, if it felt to me that Greenwood just said, "I'm not gonna pass for anyone that game." He just said, "F you, Ronaldo. I'm doing my thing still." Like it was mad. Like how long before Ronaldo patterns, you reckon?
It take a while, man. Like when we mentioned it before, they haven't got wingers that are crossing wingers. Like Greenwood is a number 9 at heart. Like he's just too young probably to play there right now. And not experienced enough. But he's a number 9, so you're gonna get that. Like I think even United shots in the game is near 30. Like 28 shots in the game and 4 on target. So there's just a lot of shots coming from all over the place. Probably Bruno, Ronaldo, Greenwood. Probably the main people who are just gonna bang shots from anywhere,
all over the place.
Over the gap.
But yeah, man. Like, salute to Villa. Like, it's a good win away from home. Yeah, the Bruno pen, like you could tell, he really wanted to like make a statement with the pen and like smash it, and just like, yeah, you've overcooked it. You probably take like the next one. I don't think you can just like, even though we know Ronaldo more clutch in penalties. Probably better. You can't just come in and say, "My guy, these penalties are no longer yours; they're mine." So like it has to like follow that due course. If he misses 2 or 3, then it might go to Ronaldo, kind of thing.
I'm even surprised Ronaldo let him take that one. To be honest,
I don't. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, even though he's like Ronaldo, he's one of the goats. I still don't think like just due process. Like I don't think you can come in somewhere, even though it is your old team, and just say, "My guy." Hey, I know you've been scoring all these pens like over the past year and a half, but sit down. This 93rd minute moment is mine. It's not yours.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. So, it wasn't a good pen though. Like, it wasn't a good pen at all. Like you could tell Bruno probably went home and beat himself up about that. That was bad.
Probably.
I'm gonna ask this question every week. Why didn't Van der Beek start? I don't get it. Like Fred and McTominay, we don't even need to keep going there about it.
Nah, man.
Just why would you not play? Like he even played well. Was it midweek?
He did.
Played really well. So
he always does. He's always energetic. Puts some balls in. He's attacking minded. Like
yeah, man.
I don't get it.
The mind boggles, man. I'll never understand it. So I'm just gonna keep asking every week because he's never gonna start.
I felt for Fred, fam. There was one time first half where someone played this one to Fred. They hit the back of his leg. He did a full spin thinking, "Where's the ball at?" And then the first time pass to Wan-Bissaka and went straight out of play. I was like, shit. Even the commentator said, "I bet you can't do that again." And that was
Fred, no, it's just crazy because you're 28 and passing 10 yards is a problem. Like, come on, man. Like, get it together. Like, why is this such an issue? Even like United, I don't think they'll finish fourth. I still think they could get third. Would it be because of Ollie's great management or anything like that? I don't think so. Personally, I think you're just gonna get dragged through games by people who can play football. But this next, I think me and Rash talked about on the Friday show, these next 12 games or so, these are horrible games. Like, I think they've only got one, which is probably one which is a routine victory, which is against
Watford. I think,
and even that, I can't say it's routine because they've had problems there in the past. I remember, they've lost that 3-1 there. So
they got smacked up.
This is difficult, man. Like, even to like get the fans back, because you had them because you bought Ronaldo and Sancho, but now Sancho isn't playing well. They're probably going to blame you indirectly because of that too. Then Ronaldo's not going to get service. They're going to blame you again. They don't like you already. There's a lot of problems, man. So, yeah, these next 12 games, he's got a lot of work to do in these next 12 games, Ollie in particular, to try and rally this fan base.
The problem, I think, with the United is that I think they've got too many selfish players. Ronaldo shoot first, Greenwood is shoot first. Bruno really is shoot first. If he gets a chance, he shoots first.
He's not playing, he's going to shoot.
I think that's a problem still. Like, Ollie's not the type of guy that's going to rule them in and say like, "Yo, guys, chill out, play for the team." Like, but these men run the team still. I think they're in trouble still. I can't lie.
Well, that's all I can imagine Ollie teaching them anyway. I mean, what was his famous training session? Kickball. He's got that wrong. Kickball. He plays kickball. Yeah,
that room.
Like turn and shoot. Turn and shoot.
Kickball. Turn and shoot. Turn and shoot.
That clip is one of the most legendary football clips.
You just get the ball here, turn, shoot. Get the ball here, control, shoot. Here, turn, shoot. Try and hit it and shoot.
He's not even scoring in the video.
He just tapping the ball.
But he made his own goals in the dorm room, and he's shooting over the bar, it's hitting the ceiling. It's like, brother, come on, man.
Stop it, you're killing him. Stop it.
Hey,
what are you doing?
That's a turn and shoot.
That's literally the session.
That's what he was doing.
I'm playing goal to goal in like a 6x6 room. It's like, what are you doing, my guy?
And every wall's a goal. Every wall's a goal.
and he still missed.
That's what I said. He drew in the crossbar and it's not going in. What are you doing?
No, the baddest thing about Solskjaer is that they asked him about his tactics like a month ago. And he's like, people get too carried away with the intricacies. Football's all about who wants to make the tackle, who's gonna get in the box and pull his head in it. That's what football's about. I'm like, shit, bro. That's basic. Like, that's what I hear on Sunday League, bro. Like,
that's how you know. That's how you know he ain't got those tactics. Like, you can't imagine him say, I want you to play on this side, and then while you're playing on this side, you go run on that side behind the defenders and not see. You quickly look at. I could never see him saying that. No way, man. Like, come on, lads. Come on, let's give it 100. Come on, let's go.
He just can't say that. Like, if Sir Alex said that, like, we'll hear it because it's Sir Alex, but you can't say that. Like, there needs to be more. Like, you can't just say football's about heading and stuff.
Apparently, the mic clipped him at the weekend. Overheard him saying, "Oh, you guys stop getting the 18-yard box and pass and fucking shoot and turn and shoot." I'm like, this guy's mad, fam.
So I guess that's why they had 28 shots.
There you go.
Greenwood heard that loud and clear, fam. I was shooting from every angle, fam. Nah. But listen, man, this peak for United, obviously, it's a lot of banter in it, obviously, because now with Ronaldo back, that's like part of the banter as well. And yeah, man, we'll see what United do. They've got a hell of a run of games. Villarreal Wednesday, big game for them.
It's tough.
Big question for you, John, man. Like, how are you feeling Ronaldo right about now?
Boy, man, listen.
I want 100% honesty.
Oh man, I can't lie, man. I feel like that old man should have retired still. I can't lie, man. It's sad. It's sad to see him, man. It's sad to see him. He's definitely not the best player in the Prem. Not top 5. No way.
Oh,
I gotta keep it 100, man.
On this, man.
Nah, I need to keep it 100, man. Come on, man. This guy's
We're running
washed.
out.
He's washed up.
Because I know it was an hour and 4 minutes in there, so we're probably not gonna get the time we want. I want to speak about this on Wednesday.
We can speak about it Wednesday still. The guy's washed up.
That's madness.
I love Ronaldo still, but he's washed still. I can't lie.
My God.
Washed.
He's washed, man. He's washed still. He's washed.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it 100, man.
I need to hear this on Wednesday in full.
No, you in your rant, you had some good arguments and some good things that you were saying. So yeah, on Wednesday, I just want you to make yourself clear.
Yeah, I'll make it clear because I've been getting roasted on some group chats because I've been saying it to some of my friends today, and they're all like, "This guy's mad,"
but we all know you wear your heart on your sleeve as well, though.
Yeah, man. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like with football, that's how it is, isn't it? But big up Ronaldo, innit? Guy's done. Guy's done stuff. But yeah, man. Chelsea Man City. That was supposed to be the biggest game of the weekend. Big up my guy Joystick Skills saying, "LOL." Now, what did John just say? Someone from John. Hey, clip it if you want. I don't give a damn, bro. Listen, Ronaldo's done. I'll say it now. Ronaldo's done still. Ronaldo's finished. But yeah, man, Chelsea Man City. That was supposed to be the big game of the weekend. And it still was, but obviously it got overshadowed. I feel like Man City made a bit of a statement. Chelsea 0 shots on target. That was kind of mad. Like, what do you guys think that? Obviously, I'll start with you, Jalil, but it's more general as well. Like, Bernardo Silva in the middle was killing it. I got told to give Rodri a shout out because he's playing well. He's playing very well. Greenish, I thought was good. Cancelo, left back, beast. Up and down. And then Gabriel Jesus on this right wing is working. I don't know what's going on with that one, but it's working. You got Sterling on the bench chilling. You got Mars on the bench chilling. Fam, like, Man City is still the best team. What are we saying, man?
I don't know, man. I still think Chelsea can still win the title, but yeah, they just. I mean, I hate to say it, man, because I'm a big fan, but Lukaku just looked like the same Lukaku we saw a couple of years ago when people was getting onto him. Unfortunately, No, but it's one game. This is what I'm saying.
It's one game. It's one game.
It opens up the doorways to the Lukaku trashing, because I've heard that so much times this weekend. Still that same thing.
So,
we can't trash Lukaku. That's the thing. We can't trash him.
No. Speak of truth, my guy. Speak of truth.
Yeah. Sorry. The thing is, we can't really trash Lukaku. I'm just gonna go off the back of what you're saying. How it might open a door for it because people will see it, but we can't trash it because we've seen what he's done to players in the games he's come back and played in. But unfortunately, you're coming up against a team like City, who's probably the most organised team we're going to see in a Prem for a long time. Like, do you know what I mean? Of all the teams we see, I think you've got your Liverpools up there, got a few other teams up there. But yeah, it was poor for him. I think you already touched on City, man. They're just too good all around, man. You got someone who can play left back and right back. You've got Walker who does his business. You're not really getting past him like that. You've got Diaz and Laporte, man. I think that's a cheat code in itself. Do you know what I'm saying? Rodri, yeah, big shout out to him, man. Sitting in front of them, it's like a back three. When it comes to defending, you can't really break them down. And then you've got guys on the bench, man, like you said before. So City for me will still lack somewhere. They will lack somewhere. I still think, even though it was back and forth, and City had the majority of the chances, I still think Chelsea did defend well. Tuchel did put them up in the right places. They could have got, obviously City could have got a lot more, but Tuchel, started the team to defend really well. Unfortunately, that goal winning, it is what it is. It happens. A good goal. But these things happen. I think it was good to see Foden back in as well, doing the business, trying to control the game, and that. De Bruyne, what would you say? Like, what do you want to say? What do you want me to say? Like, he's the best in the Premier League. Let's just get out of there. It's scary to see that you've got a team like City and all the other teams haven't really got that kind of caliber on the bench as well, man. And Pep's laughing at the moment, man. 1-0's good enough for him. I think we anticipate a lot more in terms of goals. Lukaku and them not being on there, but unfortunately we didn't get it. But yeah, nothing much to say on that, man. I still think Chelsea will win the title, shortly followed by City. But I wanted to see more from the boys, man. I still think they defended well.
Yeah, well said. Let me read some of the comments. Ronaldo is a legend. He is still playing at a high level, but if we're being honest, yeah, he's done. Big on my guy Liam Simmons saying Tuchel just got it wrong on Saturday. You can't win the league with 5 defenders, not in this generation. I hear what he's saying there. Respected City too much. Lukaku ain't good against big teams. I mean, this is the thing that Lukaku's going to have to change the narrative of. I didn't think he was actually bad against Spurs last week. I thought he was decent. But I don't think Tuchel helped him on Saturday. I criticized him, but I don't think Tuchel helped him. I mean, putting Werner up top next to him was just weird. But yeah, anyway. A needed loss, if you ask me. So maybe Chelsea needed to lose. KD's big up my guy KD saying can't even banter him, but Smith-Rowe is hard. And I think, big up KD. I think that's the thing. I think, obviously pause, but obviously, but obviously, that's I think that touches on what Jalil was talking about earlier. That I think between Saka and Smith-Rowe is going to be the one that's more pleasing on the eye, so he's going to get more of the praise from rival fans, I think. But yeah, Rash, like take the game whichever way you want to take it. Like, what's the bigger deal for you out of the game? Chelsea and how poor they were, or City and how commanding they were? It was a commanding 1-0 victory. Where do you want to take it?
It was a mixture of two, but you have to put it down to how commanding City were, because Chelsea were only poor because the opposition was better. I got it totally wrong, like totally wrong.
Oh yeah,
Jeff,
same.
Jeff, we spoke midweek about this, about what was coming up. Last Friday, we spoke about it as well, about this game coming up, and I said Tuchel has Pep's number. I said he knows what is going on. Pep can't beat him, this, that, and the other. I said it's going to be a battle of the midfield, and I said I think Chelsea's midfield is going to overrun City's. Sekovic is on fire. I said all that crap, and everything I said just got proven wrong. So, City were on it, high pressure, constant as well, aggressive when they didn't have the ball, attacking when they did have the ball, always looking for a pass forward. They overran the midfield. You mentioned the names already. Who should have got a shout out in the games, that they were unplayable. Jesus had a brilliant game. He was on it. He was on it. He was in most of the attacks. I mean, look how many shots City had compared to Chelsea, and yeah, they just ran all over Chelsea. Chelsea really didn't have a fighting chance. Sad about James having to go off now. So let's hope it's not a bad injury. But who they had on the pitch, they just didn't show up for them. No one showed up for them. And I think Silva saved another goal line. It could have been 2-0. I think Silva saved a shot on the goal line as well. I think it was a brilliant performance by Manchester City. Tactically genius by Pep. I think they just showed everyone that they're still City and that they're still in the races. I hear it's like Pep was saying, I hear everyone mentioning Chelsea. I hear everyone screaming United. I'm trying to say, but we're still the champs. You know what I mean? And we're here to do this. And he showed that. I think they've showed themselves. I think what they're joint top. No, they're a point behind. They're a point behind. They're a point behind. Yeah. So it seems like the same old twos battling out for the top 2 positions right now, and I think it's for Chelsea and the Manchester United to show that they're actually able to compete.
Yeah, I agree. I think City definitely made a statement. I think they were very convincing. Obviously, KD's saying it's still 3-1 to Tuchel. Don't forget to live to fight another day. That's true. Tuchel still has the upper hand on Pep, but you can only go by the most recent game, and the most recent game wasn't close. Just like the Champions League final should have been more to Chelsea, Saturday should have been more to Man City. Grealish could have been a bit more clinical. Even though I think Grealish played well as well, he's definitely added something to that left-hand side. The way he can hold the ball and wait for others to get into the game. It's And him and De Bruyne haven't really clicked yet like that. So once they start clicking with Bernardo, who's just playing unreal. I love Bernardo in the middle. In the midfield, when he plays in there, he's unbelievable. But yeah, Jeff, like we've spoken about City, but the Chelsea angle is something that was brought up to me is Lukaku's going to score, but when are those other attackers going to actually help him? Like, who do you think is actually the best two people to help Lukaku?
I'm not sure. Like, Havertz may score. I think there may not necessarily be two players. I think it may be a whole team thing. Like, I think someone like Marcus Alonso is probably going to end up with maybe 9-10 league goals this season, just because of the way he plays. He's good going forward. I can't see Chilwell kind of getting back in that team because I don't think Tuchel likes him as much. So yeah, I think it'll kind of be shared. So Lukaku's obviously going to be the lion's share of it because they paid the big bucks for him. Like, people like Werner will play their part too. I don't think just because Lukaku is brought in a year after him that Werner's kind of done at the club. He'll still play a part. He'll still chip in with some goals. Havertz, of course. Mount's going to need to score some goals. Kovacic seems to be playing a little further forward. So yeah, I think it'll be shared out a bit more. The thing with Lukaku is this is going to happen throughout the season. Like, you're going to play big teams and they're going to know how to like nullify him. Like, that's just how it goes, man. Like, he's not going to be a thing where he turns up every single game. But when it comes to the end of the season, best believe he's going to be up there in terms of the goal tally because there's more small games than big games. So it doesn't matter if he doesn't score against City because when they go and play these smaller teams, they go play at Norwich, he's going to punish them. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter at the end of the season. Like this is a nice indication to see like an early insight into what the title race could look like. I guess like I still think Chelsea will be up there. They'll do well, but for me, it's City are always going to be the front runners for me. Like that won't change, even with no striker. Because the way that was classic City, what we saw on Saturday. They outpressed Chelsea. They were setting traps for Chelsea. Chelsea were falling for it every time.
All the time.
Chelsea are good at normally getting out of those traps. But listen, that was really well done by City, man. Like Jesus' goal as well. That's gonna be underrated because it was a deflection. But that little swivel, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Can I just add to what you were saying as well, though, Jeff? Yeah, like we was talking about Lukaku and him and what he has to figure out what he can and can't do against certain clubs and so forth like that. But I think it's also a thing as well that it was well strategized by Pep. It's like by placing Rodri where he placed him, like Rodri was closing down the ball and making sure the ball doesn't get past the midfield.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say. So they didn't even have to worry about Lukaku because the ball wasn't getting past the midfield. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was like close up shot a bit higher so we don't have to worry about this beast. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And Rodri, game of his brilliant game. Brilliant game.
Yeah, he's coming to his own at City. Like at first, the first season I was thinking maybe they could have gone for someone else because he's good. Obviously he's good, but you're thinking, does he fit with City? Oh, he does. He does.
Oh, yeah. He's actually, obviously, people have always made the Busquets comparison, and obviously he's not as good as Busquets, but he's a top player, Rodri, and he's showing it now, so fair play to him still. KD saying that Havertz and Pulisic are the best two to partner with Lukaku. I even forgot Pulisic still, because he's always injured, my man.
Yeah, he needs to get fit. He's dangerous when he plays, but he's just injured a lot. Like I don't know what it is. Like maybe he's too quick.
It's got a Jack Wilshere syndrome, bro. All players like him. So, risky players who leave their feet in. You know what I mean, to try and draw the fouls and stuff. It's always those type of players. Grealish is one of those as well. He needs to change that style of his play. Otherwise, his season's gonna be his career's gonna be short.
And Pulisic is like he gets like muscle injuries. I remember at the FA Cup final, like he was breezing past our whole team, and then his hamstring just went.
Yeah, just went.
Yeah,
What's wrong
that
with
helped
that,
us
man?
win the game still.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Thanks, Christian. Appreciate it, mate.
All right, no, big up Pulisic still. But yeah, people smash the likes. We're about to finish off. Let's talk quickly about what was probably the best game of the weekend, and that's Brentford Liverpool. Obviously, Jalil apologized at the beginning because he was slating you guys on Friday for saying Brentford had a chance, for saying Brentford would get a point, saying you got Brentford to score, no way. And Brentford went and scored 3, you know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously, Jalil has already apologized. So, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to it, Jalil.
Yeah, man. When you said the best game of the season, I thought, hold on, give me a sec, hold on. I thought we were going to talk about. Anyway. Yeah, enough of that. But yeah, man, nothing much to say, man. Tony looks like an issue. It was good. Do you know what? Since the whole Lukaku debate against Van Dijk, what was expected to happen? Tony is what we was waiting to happen. We just didn't know it. You know what I mean? And obviously Tony was getting praised, and obviously Ben White was getting slaughtered for that performance. Done the same thing to Van Dijk and Matip. He made them shuffle quite a lot, and you can tell. I mean, there's one thing I hate seeing as well. I hate when Van Dijk points the finger. He was like, "Why are you letting them get to me? You're a defender, man. Defend first, bro." I think if he beats the midfield, you've got to do the business. Don't act like, "Oh, Fabio, you didn't get him." Like, I'm only meant to be here to clean up, to look good, man. You're camping my style, man. Chill the fuck out, son. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, look, it doesn't mean you're shit. It don't mean you're shit, because everyone knows as a striker you're gonna get the better of defenders, and as a defender you get a better striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, this could be a wake up call for like to adjust things to his game and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, what? Tony didn't do anything to Van Dijk, huh? We gonna? I know who this is.
You know who this is.
You've done yourself. Look, man, Tony put pressure on them. Not only Tony, what's the fella? The French fella that plays next to him up top.
And Banu.
Yeah, man, they done the business, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It shows that it just shows that there's still things to work on in the defense of Liverpool, if that makes sense. Like, it's not. I'm not saying that Liverpool are shit, because look at what happened to Chelsea. There's off days for everyone. Look at what happened to Spurs. I mean, there's off days. Do you know what I mean? Look at what happened to United. That penalty, there's off days. Doesn't mean you're shit. We can't judge you on that. But Brentford got the best of you. At least when they beat us, they only scored 2 past us. I know it's a draw for them, but let's be real. After being 3-2 up, getting that last goal going, it's a defeat. Let's be real. You just thrown away 3 points. And that's something for them to learn against, man. You know, Salah's still doing the business. You've got the guys up there doing the business. And that, you know, they're still good. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not saying Van Dijk's dead. I'm just saying that he got popped. He got dealt with, innit? Right? Let's be real. I'm not gonna sit here and say he had a good game. He would have got a 5 out of 10, man. That 3 goals in. I'm not gonna give you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the defense scores 3, like, you can't really get more than a 5 of the defender. Like, it's hard to be brilliant and you've conceded 3. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I hate what joystick skills. Obviously, we know. We know what Lamb is saying. But
Joystick skills.
Obviously, joystick skills. Very interesting name. But yeah, like
joystick skills.
I mean, that's a funny name. So, but
that's jokes.
Yeah, obviously, like Salah and Jota go on the score sheet again. Curtis Jones scored a good goal. I thought he had a good game in midfield for them. But yeah, I thought they struggled defensively. I thought probably across the defense, Van Dijk was probably the best. I thought Matip struggled. Robertson struggled.
Yeah.
Robertson struggled.
Cameron's gave him a tough time out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Cameron's guy's a decent little player. He can play.
There's nothing wrong with. Do you know what I'm saying? What you're saying there, there's nothing wrong with saying it. Does that mean Liverpool shit? Like,
No.
Big up Lamps in the building, but bro, Liverpool ain't shit. It's just that they struggled, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Salah didn't score, we'll say Salah struggled to score. Does that mean Salah's shit? Just
Yeah.
I've said my piece. Sorry.
Listen,
Yeah, go on, Rash. Go on.
let me jump in.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I said Brentford, they are the performances that they are pulling out of the bag. They are showing that people that don't laugh when we slap teams like Arsenal up, because we're here and we got a job to do. And we said this, me and Jeff both said this on our show. We said, look, they provide a certain atmosphere at that ground. Yeah, you're not just playing against a team, you're playing against the fans as well. Everything's on top of you. They're not like at the old stadium where everything was right on top of you, but they brought that mentality and that sort of atmosphere with them as well. I knew there was going to be on top of Liverpool, like give them a good battle. It was end-to-end football. It was a good match. Like, it was entertaining, and it's good to see a team that's just come up to the Premier League putting up that sort of fight against a Liverpool. Now, I said that they're good enough to beat an Arsenal, but they probably can't beat a Liverpool, but Liverpool won't beat them. It will be a draw, and that's exactly what it was. But it's just the manner of the draw, that just end-to-end stuff, live action, going in 50-50 challenges, everyone's going up for it, that pulling the defense apart, banging in goals. Like, that's what you want to see in a game like that. The last goal going in for them, it was like they won. Do you know what I mean? It was just really entertaining and really good to see. I think they're going to do well this season. Brentford, I might have to take it back. I put them down as one of the ones that's going to go straight back down to the bottom. But they're showing me that they've got something about them. They didn't just come here to take part. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They actually want to stay in the Premier League. They got future ambitions here, you know what I mean, and they're showing themselves, and it's very good. It's good to see, you know what I mean. Liverpool, am I worried about them? I'm not worried about them. They had a good fight. Every top team has a fight now and again, and it's usually against a bottom club. I mean, a good scrap. What they showed is that us being a fancy top club can still scrap it with the scrappers at the bottom end of the league. Do you know what I mean? And it's good that they managed to even scrape out the draw, because there was chances that Brentford could have taken that. Do you know what I mean? I will say the goal by Jones, amazing. Like, he's a player. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is a player already, and a lot of people sleep on him. We talk about the Smith-Rowes and the Sakas and the Greenwoods and the Fodens, but Jones is a good player, man. You know what I mean? And to make it into that Liverpool squad, you have to be showing something at training and showing the manager something as well. So he goes under a lot of people's radars, but he's a quality player. Salah again, doing what he's there to do. I don't care. Anyone want to put down Salah and say he's basic and whatever, bruv, them man score goals. Yeah, every time he gets the ball, it's a threat. He might miss 100, but who cares? You've got 90 minutes to score as much as you can. Gets a goal all the time. Do you know what I mean? What's the majority that people a Premier League striker scores in one game the most? A hat trick, but he's averaging 1 or 2 a game anyway. So no one can really put Mo Salah down, because he's doing his business. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be fighting for the Golden Boot again.
As always.
I think he's scored in every game so far except one. So yeah, he's just relentless, man. Like, even when you don't see him in a game, I know he's 1-on-1. He's able to do it. He's able to just find and stuff, have a trust all the time, and that's a skill to have. And yeah, at the moment, him, Jota, and Mane, they're the ones scoring all the goals for Liverpool. And they need to keep doing that, because they are the goal scorers in the team naturally.
But Brentford passing around Liverpool, though, that was brilliant to watch.
Yeah,
full of confidence.
I would say Liverpool's press is not quite as good as it was a couple of years ago. So that's why the game against City this week will be a big game. So let me just go around quickly the panel quick. Yes or no? If Liverpool beat City, are they title contenders, Jalil?
Well, I think we just got to say this. If we predict you to be top 4, you're title contenders, regardless. That's simple as that.
I think you're going to say that anyway.
That's it. Top 4, you're title contenders.
no smoke for all of us.
Yeah, man.
Literally.
I want to say nothing different.
Yeah, beat City or lose to City doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
We're gonna be up there. So
yeah. I don't think any of us said it's impossible. Like if Liverpool won the league this year, none of us would be like, "Oh my days!" Like it'll be like, "Okay, they must have had a brilliant season because they've got the players. They don't have the squad. That's the issue. They don't have the squad as good as the others, but."
Yeah, but their first 11 is as good as anyone's.
As good as any of them.
Yeah.
Even the draw, like if I'm on it, like Brentford did their thing, but Liverpool should have won. Jota missed basically an open goal. Like Rash,
he's another one, bro.
Who Jota?
But he got the goal though. But he got the goal as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he got the goal. Yeah,
for it. Yeah,
good goal. But like if we're really Liverpool, like were in control of their own destiny and kind of threw it away, so that they definitely feel like it's 2 points lost, because they should have won. Like Brentford are gonna, like Brentford may still go down. I don't think it's gonna change, but they're not going down without a fight. Like if you go to their ground, it's gonna be difficult for you. That's what they showed. Like Tony, I wouldn't say Jota's pants personally. But
I wouldn't say Jota's pants. I wouldn't say that.
You might say you don't appreciate his style, but I wouldn't say pants.
Yeah, I wouldn't say pants. I like him.
But yeah, like Tony, like listen, Tony's gonna do that to a lot of people. Like I don't think Van Dijk, like when it came to 1-on-1, like Tony had his moment at the end, and we then saw that Van Dijk said, "Listen, my guy, no, we're not doing this. Like get off the ball." Just
that was mad.
Yeah. So like it was overall the back line didn't look great. Like I think Van Dijk individually still was pretty good. Like he's Van Dijk, innit? Like, but Matip, Robertson, we mentioned Robertson had problems with Canos, man. I don't know whether he knew whether to get tight or back off or what. Like he's a new player, so maybe you just don't know much about him, innit? Like
it was a problem.
Because you see what he did against Arsenal. That was a great goal.
Yeah.
I still think Leno could have done better, but great goal nonetheless. It was a good strike.
Can I just say something about something what you just highlighted there as well, Jaffe? Because it's not like Van Dijk had a bad game. Do you know what it was? It was when he was out of position and it gave opportunity for Brentford, and he looked like he was confused at why that happened. That's what made him look bad. And I think that's what it was. Sometimes he was caught out of position and it looked like he didn't know. To me, Van Dijk, you need to know because you're Van Dijk. You should know all of this. You know what I mean? And it seemed like when he was looking, he was like, why wasn't no one there? But bro, that was you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's the only times I think, you know what I mean?
I hear you. I think it's that, and I think it's just losing the first header because he's not used to losing the first header. So Tony's winning the first header, and then you're kind of like a couple steps behind anyway because Tony's won the header. It goes to Mbeumo. He's kind of got Matip's number a lot of the time in that game, and it's 2-on-1 a lot of the time. So that's like he had a few chances too, and he just made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
So it's just people are gonna have that problem a lot. But yeah, go on, Jalo. Sorry.
No. Sorry. Are we honestly saying that Van Dijk had a good game, like individually?
Pretty good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
I don't think it was bad.
He didn't get popped on. I don't think he got popped. I know you said. I just think it was an okay game. That's it.
Fair enough. So I mean, he was out of position, innit? He was out of position. He lost a header, which he could have won, but they scored a header for the goal. Was cleared off the line by Trent.
Oh, that one, yeah.
For me, for his standards, personally, for me, for his standards, obviously, you know, the last minute of the game, obviously, when Tony went for that sprint and he goes, "You right?" Caught him, dragged him. For me, that was his best. That's the best thing he's done all game. I'm being real. I like defending. For me, if 2 out of the 3 of the goals, or if you're out of position in that and there's a goal, or if you're losing the header for a goal, you didn't do your job. I can't. Yeah, for me, I know you guys saying okay, and he still had a good individual game. For me, he was poor. Personally, that was just me. Poor man. For his standards, no, but because he's definitely Premier League, maybe Premier League's #1 defender.
Yeah.
For that standard of a caliber of a player. Unacceptable.
He's not. He wasn't even at fault for 2 goals. Like the defense was, he wasn't. Like
out of position, and he lost the header. That's not good enough. Unacceptable.
I hear you. You know what? I hear what Jalil's saying because he's judging him by the highest standards, which I'm not mad of because You got to judge the best by the best, didn't it?
We do, but then to say that poor is like you say
I wouldn't go poor. I wouldn't go poor.
So what does your poor constitute as in a score then? Like if we're going out of 10 just for him.
So we're going out of 10.
Yeah, just for him. What would you give Van Dijk?
Out of 10?
I'd give him a 6. I'd give him a 6.
Okay, that's just above average. For me, I'll give him a 4. But below average, because he's average.
So that's not poor for his standards. You're saying poor.
So it's poor for his standards.
No. I see what Jeff is doing. I see what Jeff is doing.
Poor is below average, and that's like if you're saying poor for his standards, maybe a 5. 4 is saying that he was just poor. It's not poor by his standards.
No, you're right.
Saying he was poor.
No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. So he's not. I won't say poor, but he's poor for. I'm saying poor. When I say poor, it's for his standard because
for his standards.
What we know he could do. Like personally, I don't expect me as a main defender to be losing a header that goes on goal and then blaming everyone else. I would never do that. That was your header to one. If someone makes a mistake, defend first. Our positions for other goals as well. I mean, you can't really blame him because then other people's got to do their jobs, but he weren't there. So. For me, if you're the main man, if you're the main centre back, and for me, he's a leader. For me, he's my favourite defender to watch today. Next to Ramos still, but he's obviously better than Ramos now. Don't get me wrong. And just in terms of caliber, I like to see Rudiger's coming up there now. Do you get what I'm saying? Diaz and Laporte is there. In terms of what I like to see from defenders, like no nonsense defending. For me, when you're not in the right position, I can't blame my partner or the fullbacks or the midfield for getting past. They didn't do their job. I meant to do my job. Yeah, that's how it gets. So you got to defend first. And him just putting fingers all the time just made it look like you're taking no accountability. And you don't take accountability as a defender, especially as a defender when you have to defend yourself at all costs. It's unacceptable. That's what I'm saying. So it's poor for his standards. If that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. I think Janelle's saying the second goal where it got whipped in, it hit the bar, and then it bounced, and then the other guy reacted before Van Dijk and won the header.
Wait, we're giving that's the one.
No, I don't know, but I see what Janelle's saying. Janelle's saying because he lost the header. I know what you're saying, but I think Janelle's looking at it from the point of view that if you've lost the header, your first reaction can't be to look up and be like, "Yo, what are you man doing?"
Unacceptable.
The cross came in the box. There was like a melee. And then
I hear that. Yeah. So
I'm not actually at fault. So why has the ball come in from? I'd be asking. I play in defense. If I'm playing there and the cross has come from my fullback, I mean, my brother, where did that cross come in? Like why?
Yeah.
Like why is this melee happened?
You got to take accountability, man. You got to take accountability. Because I'll tell you why.
If you didn't do anything.
I'll tell you why. If you're the last man, and you don't do your job, you can point your fingers as well. But you got to take. Okay, cool. That's my fault. I didn't. If it's a tackle, I didn't take my foot out. If I didn't win the headers, it's my fault. Everyone's got to take accountability. I'm not. You point fingers. I hear you. I would point fingers as well. Actually, to be fair, if I was in Van Dijk position, I'm not going to sit here and lie. But also, you got to take accountability. It's like he didn't blame. He blamed everyone else but himself, and that's unacceptable as the main leader.
Nah, I definitely get what Janelle's saying.
Wait. Let me say one thing. As a leader, Jeff and Rash, John, if we all go into battle, let's say we're an army, we go into battle, yeah. Wait, chill. It's gonna be a mad one. If I'm your leader, if I'm not your leader, and let's say our camp gets bombed or something, they're shooting up the place, and I go to you like, why you man letting me do this? No, you're as a team leader, you're gonna be like, yo, what should we do? Like, why are you putting fingers when you're the one who's organising the defense? No, let's go out and do the business. And I'm like, okay, you line up there, you do that, it won't happen again. But he's still putting fingers off, even if he didn't score, it goes off the pitch, he's still putting fingers. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't do that as a leader. You don't do that.
You're right, but as Jeff was saying, right, when you're on the pitch, like, let's say, for example, there's a madness that happens in front of you, right? Someone loses the ball, and then now my man's running straight at you, rips you and scores. Before you even think, raw, I shouldn't have really sold myself like that, your first reaction is going to be like, yo, man, what the hell were you doing? That's naturally the first reaction. Yeah. You look at where it started. Then you're having that moment to yourself where you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
And as a leader, too, it's also your job to distribute where you think people can improve, because the cross shouldn't have come in. So you know that it ended up being a goal. Like the guy won the header. I don't think there's even much you can do. It's hit the crossbar. It's like it's in the air now. It's just up in the air, some kind of melee. So there's not really much you can do. But you can ask your fullback, all right, my guy, we're normally better at stopping these crosses. This one shouldn't have come in because look what it's caused.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. To be fair, that was a good back and forth. Still, I can't.
Yeah, I think it came from a counter attack. So we know what Robertson and Trent are doing. Like they're already up there. So I think if he's going to point the fingers to anyone, it should be. I don't know whoever fills in the gap. It's Henderson. Is it But him himself should have been calling people to come back because that's what they do every single time. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's look through the rest of the results quickly. Is there any game that stood out to you guys? Obviously, Leicester drew 2-2 with Burnley. That was interesting. West Ham got a good win away at Leeds last minute. Antonio bagging another goal. Like anything that stood out to you for you guys from the rest of the games?
It was good. I mean, it was good to see Wolves win and to keep a clean sheet and to actually defend really well. We haven't seen that for a while.
It was good to see. It was good to see Jimenez on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Man, that's a nice little story, man. Because
man,
listen, man, that head injury could have been so much worse. Like, it could have been worse than just a fractured skull. Like he could have not been able to walk again.
Yeah, man. And you heard what he said. He said some things money can't buy. And that's what that goal meant to him, innit?
And that goal, on top of that goal was ridiculous. I don't know who that defender is, but maybe he should take a week off, man. You got bullied.
He got bullied still.
Bodied. Bro, that was evil. He was behind him and said, come here. Come here. It's not a foul. It's not a foul.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. That's what he told him, bro.
The way he came inside, though, just done the defender, bruv. Like, where did the other guy go? He was gone, bruv. Nah, dirty still. He's back. He's back.
Man, I can't lie. Like, looking back at some of our preseason predictions as well, I know, Rash, you had West Ham challenging for top 6. And you had Burnley going down. Like, I think, you had Burnley going down as well, right?
Burnley, I had gone down. Brentford, I still agree with. And I think it was...
Norwich. We all had Norwich. Forget them. They're already relegated.
Yeah. Yes. Bye-bye, Norwich. Nice to have you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. See you in 2 years again.
They're minus 14. 6 games in.
Mind you, I was surprised at the result at Leicester, even though I did predict it was going to be a draw. Because I thought Burnley was just gonna sit back and just ruin the whole game, but they actually went for it. And their second goal was brilliant, and that volley was sick, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, do you know what I mean? But you can't stop Vardy, man. It doesn't matter. Every season, I think, why don't I put this guy in my fantasy? This guy just bangs goals, bro. Do you know what I mean? And he's like the king of shithousery. Like, he gives it to the fans when he scores. He gives it to the players when he scores. Like, he just reminds me of playing in the playground at lunchtime. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Against the other form. The other form club. You know, there's always like 2 types of footballing teams or bridgings in your year. You got them man there, and then you got us man. You know what I'm trying to say? Us man, we play together, and them man play together. But now and again, it's us feed them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it is Pete. So and you give that sort of banter, and he's got it for every game, and he's up for it every season.
Prem legend. I think
it has to be.
100%.
No doubt about it.
100%. Like, I think if you say he's not a Prem legend, I think you're just hating. How can you take it away from him?
This guy, for the moment, I think first year 9 goals, but then ever since then, it's just goals after goals after goals. The man is 34. Like, the guy got bought to replace him, can't play.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't play.
Literally, Daka. Daka, man.
Oh, poor Daka. That's lucky he scored, bruv. He's lucky he scored the other day, bro. Trust me.
Literally, man. Big
he'll be riding the bench like he's going gel. He's lucky, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man said he's riding pen, but man. Let me see what's the Brighton game saying. They still don't know.
No. I'm watching it now. No. 20 minutes in. Brighton are playing well. It's a bit worrying. I thought they're going to be pants, but we got them.
I think I said this was going to be a draw as well, isn't it?
I said Palace is going to win, but Brighton are playing
Palace to
anyway.
go down.
Oh, I must have put Palace. Did I
Yeah,
say
Jeff had Palace to go. Jeff had Palace to go down.
Yeah,
That doesn't look that bad at the moment. I got Southampton going down, and that doesn't look that bad right now.
Suspecting the man, Palace don't get relegated no more, man. It's been years, bro. Do you remember the years when they'll come up and go down?
Yeah,
They'll come up and go down.
When they had, who was that fella up top? Andy Johnson, that blue fella.
Oh yeah, he was cold.
He was decent. He was decent still.
What was it? What was the other guy though? The big guy. Oh, what was his name, man?
Was he up top?
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot his name.
What colour was he?
He was with them for ages as well. White guy, he had a beard, and then he went all over to the bottom clubs. He then got passed around to all the bottom clubs afterwards, man. No, Paul Wickham.
Glenn Murray? No, can't be Glenn
Murray. Yes, Murray. Yeah. Murray was a legend at Palace, yeah. And they said, "Now I'm gonna be a legend everywhere."
Yeah.
Started whoring himself out.
Yes,
trust me, that's not go anywhere, bro.
Don't worry, I'm cheap. I'm easy. I'm easy.
Retired though, so look to Glenn Murray.
Hey. But yeah, man. But listen, people, it's been actually a great review of the weekend, man. Like, can't lie, been good to go through everything, and I'm sure the next week will be interesting. We got Champions League midweek, PSG Man City tomorrow, which I think we're all looking forward to. That's going to be a great game. Man United, I think is going to be interesting just for the intrigue of seeing United potentially lose, which will be hilarious. Because then they might actually go out and see Ronaldo in Europa League. To be fair, that's probably where he belongs now.
We need to talk about this man. Jesus, this is mad.
This is mad, but yeah, man. Listen, well, we're gonna round off as usual with some last words from Rash. So Rash, take it away, my bro.
Yeah, look, man. Just want to make everyone who's listening on the show today. First of all, thank you for following. Smash the like button. But let's bring attention to the world and human race as we know it. You know, there's a lot of things going on right now. There's people fighting for the world to be greener. You know, they're thinking about the future of our children. You've got people who are protesting immediately now, saying that they want to protect their children now and don't want the children to be vaccinated because there's been a new release of information on vaccinations and the results of what's been happening as it was released in Parliament this week. And we see that there's been a lot of adverse results from taking the vaccine as well. So, you know, we wish peace on everyone who has taken it and are suffering and going through any sort of problem as well. But there's also around the world people who are intendedly with the intention to make people's lives difficult, you know. As we mention all the time, there's people waking up to the sounds of shells being dropped, you know, fathers being kidnapped, women being killed, children being taken and doing what with, you know. Think of the worst. That's what's happening, and it's not happening in just one place. It's happening in many places, and we just need to spread the same message that we do all the time to make sure that you lot know that love always wins. Respect is something that should be given instantly. It's something that should be lost. People don't have to gain respect. First of all, give respect. Everyone has the right to live. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everyone should want what's best for themselves and their family, but most of all, what you want for yourself, you should want for everyone else as well. Do you know what I mean? Love always wins. It's the message that we'll always keep spreading. That's my message for today.
Yeah, man. As always, beautifully said, and nothing much to add. You know, it's always great to be able to share that information that, you know, you always bring to us at the end of every show. And yeah, man, hopefully people can take the message away and spread that on in their own individual lives. But yeah, people, that's it from us. As Rash said, you know, smash the likes, subscribe if you're new, share, keep supporting us, man. And yeah, man, we'll be back on Wednesday with our debate show. But yeah, until then, people, peace and love, and have a good one. Peace.
Love everyone.
Salam.